Yeah, I mean, obviously they do get called in on very difficult and hard assignments. So obviously it's something that they saw that these two elite units could probably help them with. And more investigative power is always probably a good thing in this particular case. So that's probably what they called upon. And there may be some nexus that obviously we don't see publicly that leads them to believe that that these two specialized units inside of Border Patrol and CBP can provide some assistance.
What would you say about a hunt like this? See the horses that are out of the rail tracks there looking for this guy. The worst of the worst. I mean, he was a murderer, rapist, but also in terms of his own personal experience, his law enforcement experience. He was a police officer, police chief. So that obviously adds to it, right? It makes it more challenging.
Oh, without a doubt. Obviously, this is one of, I'm not going to say it's one of their own because obviously he's a convicted felon, but he has a certain type of training that he got as a law enforcement officer. And so that makes it more complex, more difficult to do this case. And so that's why you need, you know, sort of the elite team coming in. So you probably have that both at the state level, at the federal level, and of course at the Border Patrol federal level now. So I think they're doing what they can. And what this also tells me is that they need new ideas and they need some new eyes looking at this case to see what has been probably missed, as well as new theories on where this individual could be.
A couple of quick things just more broadly. We always talk to you about immigration. I noticed there were numbers out. A lot of people made a big deal about how many arrests ICE was making, and then it's like 100,000 this week, with 3,000 being the daily goal. So what would you say about progress, update, where the Trump administration and where the authorities are right now in terms of the crackdown?
Yeah, you know, look, I don't look too much at the daily arrests because the numbers of those apprehended in the interior of the country, they're going to go up, they're going to go down. This isn't, you know, I kind of look at long-term trends. And overall, I would say that the Trump administration is getting an A as far as removals. They're doing it in a higher rate, in a higher click than obviously previous administrations. But they are still a little short of their intended goal that they have stated time and time again. So they've kind of made, you know, they've put it out there, a number out there that they themselves signed up for. And obviously that's going to take some effort and some work. But overall, what I will say is both the apprehension numbers along the border and the removals or the repatriations, I think they're going well, but they are certainly going to have to ramp those up.
Now, we plan to carry this news conference. Pam Bondi, as I mentioned, is going to hold a little while. So I guess the final thing for you would be, I'm not sure exactly what she's going to say, but it doesn't, we could still have a conversation or ask a question about that Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, because what was your view on that? In other words, is this someone who, you know, all right, just let it go, who's deported, or does it make sense to bring someone like that back here and go through the justice system, you know, charge them with a crime here in the United States? Or how do you think it should or should be handled?
Yeah, you know, look, I've got mixed feelings about this. He has gone through due process. When he got his final order of removal from an immigration judge, that is due process. That he has gone through the court system. A judge has ordered him removed. Now, they gave him a withholding order at the same time, right? To say you can remove him anywhere but El Salvador. And we saw, obviously, him move to El Salvador. So should he ever return to the United States, and I'm on record of saying this, he should be obviously detained as soon as he touches down and then removed to another third country. He has no legal right to remain here in the United States. He is not a U.S. citizen. He has a final order of removal from an immigration judge. He should not remain here in the United States. So if the Trump administration ever does bring him back, they are likely just going to remove him to another safe third country.
All right, we'll see if Attorney General Bondi adds to that. We'll take it to DOJ when it starts. Chad Wolf, as always, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.